Kyoto you're really spoilt for choice when it comes to temples and shrines. And I think everyone is really worried about going to the most popular ones, but I chose the ones that sort of made sense in areas close to each other where I could walk between them, not spend a lot of time travelling, and just to enjoy my time rather than rushing from hotspot to hotspot. On my third day in Kyoto, I decided to visit some temples and shrines that were well known for their autumn leaves and their gardens. Early in the morning, I headed out to Nanzen-ji Temple, which is located at the base of the Higashiyama Mountains. It has a unique feature nearby, which is the aqueduct which carries the Lake Biwa Canal. Now, going through this tunnel near the station, everyone usually heads straight ahead. But here I turned to the right and headed up the stairs, and at certain points I was thinking that no one else was around. Am I in the right place? Am I allowed to be here? But it was actually really beautiful and lovely to be here on my own. As you climb the hill, you come to the falls of the aqueduct. And you can walk up these steps, and it looks like you can't really go here, but you can. I did see some workers in high vis around, and they didn't say anything to me. It's a path that the public can take. And climbing the mountain, you can see some great views of Kyoto. And I'll be visiting this giant torii gate later today. But first, I found the aqueduct path, and here you can walk alongside the aqueduct. And there's one of the workers that I was talking about. But other than him and maybe some of his colleagues, I didn't see any tourists up here at this side of the aqueduct. Just be careful when you're walking along here because there aren't any barriers to stop you from falling in, so watch your footing. It can be a bit mossy and a bit slippery if it's wet. The aqueduct was designed by Sakyo Tanabe as part of this project to bring water from Lake Biwa into Kyoto, and it still supplies water to the city today. What it's most known for is its architectural style, which is closer to the temple. So as we continue to walk along it, we'll then be able to go down and see this feature. Closer to the temple, you can't walk along it anymore, and here I saw a beautiful heron. Taking the steps down, you start to see the beautiful red brick arches of the aqueduct. And we're also closer to the temple, so all those people who walked straight ahead from the station are down here. It's lovely to spend a bit of time here just admiring the architecture within nature. I then headed into the temple grounds. Nanzen-ji Temple is a nationally designated historic site, and the Hojo Gardens are a place of scenic beauty. This part of the temple is free to visit, and you can get your fill of autumn leaves here. But I did also want to pay to go inside to see the beautiful traditional Japanese gardens. You do have to take off your shoes and carry them with you, so bear that in mind. They do give you little plastic bags to put your shoes in. It was such a peaceful and tranquil space, and this is the monks' quarters. And you can shuffle along in your little borrowed slippers. Mine kept falling off my feet because they were slippery inside. really enjoyed this section with the wooden walkways weaving in between the gardens. And it was a very cold morning, and you can see the damp on the roof steaming under the sunshine. After I put my shoes back on, I collected the Goshuin at the temple, which was pre-written, so I would stick it into my Goshuin-cho later. And I headed out through the grounds of the temple to go to the next one. It was a bit of a breeze, so it was lovely to stop here and listen to the wind rushing through the bamboo. My next stop was Zenrinji Temple, or more commonly known as Ikando Temple. It was once a villa owned by a nobleman, but it was given to a Buddhist priest in 853. This is a hotspot for viewing the autumn leaves, and it was a bit busier here. You do also pay to enter the complex and see the gardens. And there is a famous pagoda up the hillside, but I didn't really feel like climbing up there. If you're looking to collect the Goshuin at this temple, you actually hand your book in at the start of your visit before you enter the area where everyone walks around in their socks. Make sure you bring socks as well. And then you collect it on your way out. You get given a little token with a number on it so you can collect it when you return, because they're quite busy. So generally the length of your visit going around the buildings and the gardens allows them enough time to get around to writing your Goshuin directly into your book. There's so much to see here that you really just need to take your time to absorb it all. You may think at this point that, Jen, aren't you sick of seeing all of these autumn leaves? And I say absolutely not. I could walk through these gardens for days on end and never be sick of it. And here is the Goshuin that was handwritten. I really love the style of calligraphy. You can see why this little bridge is so popular in just a second. There's this incredible reflective view of the bridge over the water, the blue sky, and all of the autumn leaves. And you can spot some lovely fish in the pond as well. Like awaking from a dream, I came back to reality and started walking up some more modern streets to get to a shrine nearby. This is how quiet it was on a Wednesday morning in December. It was nice to step away from the busier touristy areas and just see Japanese life. So this is Okazaki Shrine, and it is known for its rabbit imagery, as you can see on the lanterns here by the torii gate. And inside you'll be able to see lots of little rabbits everywhere, because this shrine is known for blessings for fertility and safe childbirth. I just wanted to enjoy the unique theming of the shrine. It was just in such a beautiful setting, and again, it's one of the lesser known shrines, so you have a more enjoyable experience here if you're not a big fan of the Kyoto crowds. I did also collect a goshuin here, which features the bunny rabbit. I headed down towards the Heian Shrine next, but I stopped by a kombini to pick up some bits for lunch, including my favourite hot milk tea, egg sando, and rice ball. Here you can see the giant torii gate in the distance, and there was some drumming going on nearby, which I enjoyed. And there's this huge path up to the Heian Shrine. This is also designated as an important cultural property in Japan. It was built in 1895 to commemorate the 1000th and 100th anniversary of Kyoto as the capital of Japan, and that was the role that Kyoto had until 1868. It's a slightly smaller scale replica of the imperial palace of the Heian period. So the architecture is from the period between 794 and 1185. And after I paid my respects, I of course collected the goshuin. I then headed down to the Kyoto City Kyocera Museum of Art, which is in this incredible building, which is sort of like a mix of European and Japanese style architecture. Again, more views of beautiful gardens can be seen from inside the museum. You do have to pay to visit this museum as well, just so you know. I was most interested to visit a specific exhibition. There was no filming or photography allowed inside the exhibition, except for I think it was 7 specific works which had a picture next to it saying that you could take photos, but there's no filming allowed at all. One of the attendants did stop someone from videoing one of the artworks. I just do wish that some of the artworks that really caught my eye, that I was able to take a photo of them so I could then go back and look at them later, because unfortunately they didn't have a postcard or a poster of those specific works in the shop, and I didn't have room in my luggage to buy the exhibition catalogue. There are a lot of lovely things in the shop here, and I only ended up buying one thing, which was a book about goshuin collecting. I stepped back outside and admired the architecture again, just taking it all in. And here is the giant torii gate. It's 24 metres tall over an 18-metre wide road, and you really do feel quite tiny standing next to it. Although I had done quite a lot on this day, it did feel like I was taking a bit of a slower pace. I headed to the nearest metro station to get the train back towards my hotel area. I think resting on these days is very important as well, so it's absolutely okay to go back to your hotel and just hang out for an hour or two before you head out again. It's just so tempting to keep going and see as much as possible, but as you've seen from this vlog, I've seen so much today, so I was really happy with what I had achieved. I grabbed a couple of snacks on my way back to my hotel, and I was in a chocolatey mood because I picked up a hot chocolate and tiramisu ice cream, which was delicious. After my rest, I went out because I wanted to get some glasses from Jin's. About 6 months before this trip, I got my first glasses because I need them for looking at the screen for my job, and I had heard that you could get really affordable glasses at Jin's. So while I waited, I walked around the shops in the shopping streets, and I did a bit of stationery shopping. And just 30 minutes later, my glasses were ready, and I actually prefer them to the glasses I first got when I had my eyes tested earlier in the year. I spent the rest of the day without my camera, just going and getting some food and then settling in to rest before my travel day tomorrow. And I'll see you there.